Cupcakes, streamers, piñata, balloons,
Hey, welcome everyone. I may have to turn this light up. It's dark. May have to switch the color. There we go. I might have to turn on another light. Anyway, welcome to the 321 report, everyone. Those videos. Well, I was looking for something of a video of Barry Morphew today, and I came across those, so I had to share them. They're pretty funny. I did add that picture of Barry and the mountain lion at the end of that first one, but okay, we got a lot going on today. You're gonna have to hold on just a second because I am going to turn on the light because this is too dark. Much better. That was weird. My face looked all weird. Like it doesn't look weird enough, but with that going on was something else. All right, let me get situated. All right, I'm good now. All right, everyone. This is our 23rd episode of the 321 report. My name is Dusty. If you don't know who I am Dusty Draper, and I am a photographer, videographer, now YouTube creator. I love to cover true crime stories and human behavior stories, stuff like that. I'm really excited about tonight's episode. I want to talk a lot about a few different cases. I've been seeing a lot of rumors out there. I've been talking to people that know some of these people that the rumors are about. So I'm going to give you an update on what I've heard. I can't say it's facts, but it's as close as I can get. We have 1,391 subscribers. That's pretty good because we've only been doing this on this channel since like February 4th. So that's awesome. Thank you all for subscribing and liking and watching and commenting and everything. Sending in your tips, your information. I really, really appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to my cousin. Her name is Charlene, and she was on the 21st episode of the 321 report if you want to go check that out. But she was my guest that night. But today is her birthday, and I want to wish her a It's either today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure it's today. I don't even know what day it is. Now I do. It's the 10th. It's the 10th of March. Pretty sure that's her birthday. All right. On a lighter note, on a more sad note, today is the 10-month anniversary of Suzanne Morphew going missing. And I know there's a lot of you out there that really that are really sad about her still being missing. I am one of them. I've been to Salida to do what I can to investigate. I did some drone footage over their house, which has now sold, by the way. I'm sure you all have heard that. I'm going to get a little bit more into that here in a little bit. I got my Find Suzanne, hashtag Find Suzanne bracelet I wear every day to remind me to keep researching, to keep looking. Tyson got me this when he went up there one time. So yeah, we're not going to forget about her. I'm every day I'm doing something to try to bring either awareness or investigate the cause or the reason that she's gone, or look up laws or whatever. And so I'm going to bring you a lot of that tonight. I can hear a dog barking. It's not my dog because it's a little one of those little yapping dogs. Must be the neighbors. Sorry if I called, my neighbor might be watching this. Sorry, Pam, if I called your dog a yapping dog. All right, so, gosh, there's already 192 of you in here. That's awesome. So, I got so much to cover. I'm just going to start. I want to show you something. I don't really ever show you guys, but these are all my notes and stuff. I got piles of them everywhere. That's the kind of now I got to fix this. That's the kind of research stuff I do. I'll have a piece of paper. I'll be researching. I'll write it down on something, and I'm thinking, okay, one of these days, or before the show starts, I'm going to put all these on these cards. This is how much I got on the cards today. That's it. All that other stuff is what you see. So anyway, I do what I can. I use the time I got to put everything in the proper context, the proper order. I like to research and get facts. And if it's a rumor or if I haven't got solid evidence about something, I'll tell you that. I'll also tell you if I feel like if someone's telling me something and I feel like I've done my due diligence in vetting these people and figuring out if they really know what they're talking about, I'll have a little bit more confidence in what they're telling me, and I'll tell you that. So anyway, I'm going to jump into it now, like I said I was going to. And I'm going to start with, since we mentioned Suzanne Morphew, I'm going to start there. I know a lot of you out there have your own theories. It seems like somebody's either on one side of the fence or the other concerning who's responsible for Suzanne missing. And really, there might be a middle ground. We don't know, but I've been on one side of the fence for a long time, and I'm still there. I'm not going to say I'm not, but I also think that there is more to this case than what we really think. And from studying the stuff I've been studying and doing the research I've been doing, I'm putting together timelines that I'm going to present as soon as they're done. I don't want to do it prematurely and not have all my ducks in a row. But I've been putting stuff together. I've been grabbing screenshots, putting them with dates, and this stuff's off social media. I'm trying to put together where people were before Suzanne went missing, where people were during that weekend, Mother's Day weekend last year, and where they were afterwards. And also, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about as far as behavior, because like I said, I love psychology, sociology, criminology, human behavior. I love all that stuff because it gets me thinking, like what causes people to act this way. Because if there's one thing that I've figured out in this world, is humans will do anything to other humans, anything. I mean, you haven't, there's not some scenario you could come up with that somebody hasn't done to somebody else. And that's really sad, the depravity that's in the world. But if we can, if we can figure out why it happens and what drives people to this, maybe we can do something to hinder maybe a future person that would do stuff like that. So anyway, got off on kind of a rant, but um, what I'm getting at is you either think Barry Morphew is responsible for Suzanne's disappearance, or you don't. You think he's innocent, and you think he's getting a bad deal here. So I'm going to present to you some stuff today about. I saw a question on like Facebook or something. Do you think Barry is a flight risk? And at first I was, and I even commented this on somebody's post. They said something about him being a flight risk, and I said, why would he even want to flee? Because he's pretty much living his life just like nothing ever happened. Like he was never married to Suzanne, or she's not missing, or whatever. At least that's the impression I get from his behavior, his actions, legal or otherwise, since she's been missing, and whether it be the guardianship or whatever else. And what I'm going to talk about today, there's been a few things that he's done that's really made me upset. One of them, and I made a video of this, and I'll repost it because it was on the Draper Brothers channel, but I have it still. One of them was when he put their house up to on Airbnb. That really made me really upset, and I've been trying not to get so emotional about this stuff and keep an even keel, but sometimes things like that really, really upset me. And that's the reason that upset me so much, because that's really disrespectful to Suzanne, first of all, because you're renting out a house that you guys lived in together when she went missing, that her money from an inheritance pretty much paid for. So to do that is pretty low down, in my opinion. I noticed that it wasn't posted on Airbnb after I made that video. I'm not saying they took it down off of Airbnb because of me, but there was a lot of backlash from me and others. So anyway, so what I came across recently, and I got pictures here, so I'm going to be showing those. So one thing I came across is, no matter how much stuff I load up in here, I always forget something. So this time I forgot this, but I know exactly where it is because I'm pretty organized today. So here, you're not going to be able to read this probably, but what this is, dang it. I wish I could read it. I'm going to have to, okay, there it is. Okay, what this is a joint tenancy special warranty deed, and this is for the Longhorn subdivision. The piece of land that Barry owned that he said a bunch of stuff about. One thing he said about it was for his mom, and they were going to build a house for his mom there. Another thing he said was it was Suzanne's dream piece of land, and they were going to build their dream house there. So anyway, there's a name on there, two names actually. Well, more than that, because Barry's on there. And it says, this deed is dated February 17th, 2021, and is made between Barry Lee Morphew and blah, blah, blah. And it says his address, and then it says, and Kent Townsend and Judy Townsend as joint tenants. I'm not going to read their address. So this guy named Kent Townsend and his wife Jody Townsend, they bought that land. And I thought, okay, he probably doesn't even know this guy. You know, he's no big deal. He's just selling it to this Kent guy. and his wife. So then I got nosy and I went snooping around. So I looked up Kent. And so Kent is friends, and I finally figured out how to say this last name I'm going to say here in a minute. So I got snooping around on Kent's Facebook. Here's Kent's Facebook. And, don't hassle Kent. I don't know anything about Kent, except that he bought that land and what you can see on his Facebook. But I'm not talking about him, really. I'm talking about somebody else. So here's Kent. And there's a name here you'll probably recognize, John Dyslin. See, I learned how to say his name because you know what I did? I took his name and I put it in those pronunciation things on Google, and they told me how to say it. So if it's wrong, it's Google's fault. So Kent Townsend, I don't know which one he is. I believe he's the one in the middle. But then you got John Dyslin. I think he's the one in the blue. Then you got this cat right here, Walt Harder. Okay, remember all those names. So John Dyslin, I'm going to share this screen real quick because I want to show you some stuff. So, all right. So what we got here is Dyslin Structures. So Dyslin Structures, this is a big deal in the Salida area, Chaffee County area. They're like a construction company. Barry's worked for them. Jeff Puckett recently posted on his Facebook that he works there now. And some guy commented and said, well, you worked there for a long time. Why are you just putting that now? So anyway, people work there from Salida. There's a lot of people that work there. There might not work for that company, but there's a lot of contractors that work for them. So if you scroll down here, what this website is this is a government contracts website. So these are the government contracts that these guys have had. And this one here is for the Heart of the Rockies Regional Medical Center. And this was in a contract they got. Started in 2006 and ended in 2008. This was worth $23 million. That was the contract that got accepted. Here's another one in 2009. That was $870,000 to build another medical office. And there's a college that paid them $8 million to build something in 2010, 2011. So the point I'm trying to make is this John Dyslin guy is the president of this place, the owner, whatever. The dude's loaded. I mean, he's got a lot of money. And he's apparently friends with Barry, okay? So he's loaded. We've heard his name come up a lot. He's just a big shot there in town, I guess. Here's a picture of him and his wife. I don't know boo about this guy except he runs his company. He might be the best guy in the world. I don't know. But apparently he's friends with Barry and he's got a ton of money, okay? So then you got this guy, Walt Harder. Okay? I don't know him either. But he's big into real estate. He's big into hunting and fishing and stuff like that. But also, the thing that caught my eye about this guy is, I've got to find the pictures. La la la. Dramatic, huh? So, I'm trying, guys. Anyway, so for dramatic effect, I just stalled there, but I didn't do it on purpose that long. But this guy, I wish I had the picture that I wanted to show you. There it is. So this guy owns his own plane. By the way, I believe this post is gone now, but I don't know. So he owns a plane, right? Plus, he goes to Mexico a lot according to his Facebook, to go fishing. So I think that one is right here. You can see him all fishing right here. That's in Cabo San Lucas, they said. So anyway, I don't know if this guy even knows Barry or not. But I do know that Barry's 2 degrees away. That means he knows John Deslin. Dyslin. That would be 1 degree away. He's friends with him. 2 degrees. Don Dyslin is friends with this cat because he's flying with him. He's riding bikes with him. So he's 2 degrees away from a guy who owns his own plane. He's 1 degree away from a multi-millionaire. So is he a flight risk? Absolutely. You know what else? Barry apparently goes hunting in Mexico, but they also used to vacation there a lot. And as a matter of fact, I just one of Mallory and Macy's friends posted on her Instagram that they went to. You remember back when I was talking about I heard that they were going to Mexico and it was around January. Well, I was right. I'm not bragging, but I'm not saying I'm right. Whoever told me that was right. And I just told you guys what they told me. But January 8th, there's a picture that this friend of those girls took, and they're both walking in front of her, and they're on a beach, and it's tagged in there that they're in Mexico. So, I have the picture, but you just gonna have to trust me because I'm not going to look for it and halt the show for it. So, just gonna have to trust me on that one. But anyway, there is that. To me, the red flag started going up. You got what I said, him being a flight risk because of the reasons I said, but also he's been selling all kinds of stuff off, and we can go through that right now. Just the stuff I know about that's public record since Suzanne went missing, and what he has sold, and what that equals in monetary value. And according to Lauren Scharf, he has to put away, half of that for Suzanne in some kind of trust in case she comes back. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to have to trust Lauren on that one because she does a good job on gathering her info. But if he bails, if he takes off to another country and hides out, he doesn't have to leave nothing. He can just take it. All right, so let's go through what he has sold. So recently he sold the house. Suzanne's house is what I call it because rightfully, in my opinion, she paid for it. 1.6 around there $1 million. So, and then you got the Longhorn lot. It looked like it sold just for the piece of dirt there, the lot, $150,000. So the house in Indiana, I may have a picture of that. Absolutely. Here we go. Suzanne posted this in May 23rd, 2018, when they were getting ready to move. It says house for sale, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, wooded lot, 2 masonry stone fireplaces. I bet you Barry didn't put those in. They would have fell down by now. 40 by 70 wood barn, 1,000 foot of something asphalt. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not going to read all of it. But it says that they were selling it, and there's 13 acres there, by the way, selling it for $895,000. So I'm just going to assume they got close to that. So $895,000, and that wasn't even what he was getting. Let me get this off here. Here's some more pictures of that house. It was a nice house. Apparently, you can get a lot of house in Indiana for $895,000. So, what he was getting the guardianship was just for a piece of land. It wasn't even for this house. So, and he's also, I heard, sold Suzanne's Land Rover, Range Rover, whatever it was. So even without the vehicle, we're up to about, because I don't know how much that was worth, we're up to about $2.5 million that Barry has. They don't owe anything on, as far as I know, they don't owe anything on any of this property or anything. I know they don't owe anything on the property in Salida, or in Maysville. Sorry. So if she doesn't come back, who gets this money? Is that why you don't hear much from his daughters, from Suzanne's daughters? I mean, I don't know. I'm putting together a lot of stuff, and I mean, it's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers, and I'm just following the money. I'm just following where the story takes me, and if y'all get mad about it, if I bring up those girls and you're just gonna have to get mad because I'm not making stuff up about them. I'm just gonna report on what they're pretty much what I've seen on social media, and not on theirs, because theirs is all private, but some of their friends, you can still see their stuff. Probably not after I just said that, but yeah, I have screenshots of all of it, and I'm putting together a timeline. So, I mean, it's not like it's going anywhere for me. I was surprised to see a new one, because their friend supposedly moved to Hawaii. She must have met him down in Mexico. So anyway, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about as far as this goes, there's a lot of laws. Let me pull this stuff up. There's a lot of laws I went over. Somebody asked me, first of all, let's mention the girlfriends. I didn't even hear about this other one everyone's talking about. I heard about Shoshona. And I've been saying I didn't think that was happening. She seemed like a nice person and all that. People were piling on her. I mean, and if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. You could do that if you want. But I started researching it the other day after I called her and left that message. And you guys saw I recorded it. But then I sent her a text. Well, a random person text me back. They verified who they were, and they told me they were a friend of Shoshona. So I started asking them a bunch of questions, and they were more than happy to talk to me about this stuff. What this person told me, what I asked them, is Shoshona dating Barry? And this person said, I asked them right to their face, or I asked her right to their face. Okay, let me start over. I asked her directly to her face if she was dating Barry, and she said no. But she did say she thinks that he's a good guy and getting a raw deal, all that. I mean, don't judge her for that. You know, she might not follow this case like the rest of us do. I heard a lot of rumors about her going to church with Barry going to church with her. First of all, I didn't believe Barry even went to church, so I'm not judging somebody. If you don't go to church, you don't go to church. But Barry just didn't seem like the type. He seemed like the type that would go if Suzanne asked him to, but I didn't think he would be going by himself. Well, I asked this person, do they go to church together? This person said they go to the same church. And this person said, I go to that church also. I started going to it. They don't go together. Never have. And this person said, I've never seen Barry at this church, which I figured that was right before I even asked him that question. But anyway, I asked a few other questions. This person apparently worked. I asked this person if Shoshona cleaned houses. And he said yes. Well, now you know it's a he, but sorry, guy. Anyway, this person said yes. They have their own business, and this person even helped clean houses. But this person also said that she had never cleaned the Morphew's house. So that was just a rumor. So you guys are just going to have to take this with a grain of salt. I trust this person because of certain things I asked and certain things that I don't see what the point would be if this person's lying. I don't know why. There's no motive for this person to tell me this stuff. I know some people are just nuts, but this it's not one of them. I mean, this is a real person, a verified dad. It's not some Yahoo out there pulling my chain. So actually, we're still in communication. Okay, so that's number one. I don't believe that they were ever an item. I'm trying to think if there was other questions, but if I remember them, I'll tell you. But right before this show, I got a message on Facebook. I'm not gonna put it on the screen, but I am going to pull it up so I can refer to it, because I don't know this person that wrote to me. We weren't even Facebook friends. They just wrote out of the blue and said a few things, and I didn't even know there was another person that Barry was supposedly dating. So that was news to me. I've been out of the loop for a few days working and stuff. So, all right. So let me pull this up. Okay, I'm not going to read this verbatim, but I am going to read some of it. You know those rumors floating around that Barry is dating two women? Just in case you ever talk about it on your podcast, I found out who Brittany is that was named. And this person goes on to say they've known this person for years, and it's not true because they asked them. They said, I don't want to mention any other YouTubers' names, but they said this YouTuber started the rumor. So some of you probably know. I didn't watch it, so I don't know what was said, but this person says Brittany is beautiful and not desperate enough to date a wife killer. All right, and this Brittany didn't even know this rumor was going around apparently. So about her. This is an interesting fact. I like this. I like this. I hope this person doesn't get upset that I'm reading it. I'm not giving any names or he thinks that Brittany. It says she said she's waited on him before. I guess this Brittany's a waitress or something. Or maybe she works at you check somebody out at a store or something. And the dude didn't even tip. Well, I guess it was a waitress. He's a cheapskate. Well, he's holding that money, that 2.5 million, really close. All right. This person was writing to me because she didn't want her friend's reputation being ruined. So that's like I said, I don't know if this is true, but I'm taking this person's word for it. If they have enough love for their friend, then they reach out to me and say these things. And I mean, I don't know why somebody would do that if it wasn't true. I mean, maybe I'm being naive, but it just seems like you got better things to do than write to me. Who am I? I only got 1,391 followers, so whatever. So anyway, so we got through that part of it. And my stance on this is until somebody and I even said this on the previous show, until somebody shows me pictures or whatever, or video about these two being together, I'm not going to believe it. I don't think that's what he's after. I think he's after money. And why would you bring somebody else into the picture? I mean, when you're not worried about that, you're just worried about money. Anyway, all right. So I was mentioning laws because this leads right into what I was going to talk about here. So I got to stop that share, and I'm going to share another one. So I got to poking around in some laws when somebody asked me, do you think Barry will get remarried or something. And I'm like, what? Is Barry getting married? Is what they said. So I was like, okay, I don't even think he can. He's still married. So I got curious and I went and started looking up laws. So that's what I'm trying to pull up. All right. Here we go. I'll pull them up on the screen because if I can, I'm pretty sure I can. Dude. I haven't looked at any of the comments because I know if I do, I'm going to get really distracted. So I'm trying to stay focused. But at the end of the show, I'm going to answer any questions you guys have. I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing that because the last couple I haven't got to do that very much. And I miss talking to y'all because y'all always have some really good questions for me or whatever. So application window. Here it is. Yes. I was hoping I could share this. Okay. What this is the Colorado Revised Statutes Title 15, probate, trust, fiduciaries, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's not what I want. I want to be on there. Okay. So what this talks about, there's a lot of things it talks about in here. It talks about when you want, it says petition to determine cause and date of death resulting from a disaster, body unidentifiable or missing. Okay, so this piqued my interest. Okay, what are the laws in Colorado concerning Suzanne and what can be done? Mostly, I don't really care about the marriage part or whatever. I mean, that would just be a scumbag thing for him to do anyway. But to me, it was more, okay, he's got all this money and everything. What's he going to be able to do with it? So what stuck out to me, I'm going to try to get to it. I didn't realize I'd saved so much. So here's an interesting thing. It says effect of fraud and evasion. So whenever fraud, this is what it says. Whenever fraud has been perpetrated in connection with any proceeding or in any statement filed under this code, or if fraud is used to avoid or circumvent the provisions of or purposes of this code, any person injured thereby may obtain appropriate relief against the perpetrator of the fraud or restitution from any person other than a bona fide purchaser benefiting from the fraud, whether innocent or not. Any proceedings must be commenced within 5 years after the discovery of the fraud. This section has no bearing on remedies relating to fraud practice on a decedent during his lifetime, which affects the succession of his estate. So what I think is going on, I'm no lawyer and I'm not even that smart when it comes to this stuff, but what I think they're talking about is like, okay, what if Barry tried to go get life insurance or something, right? And he knew, he knew that what happened, that he was at fault for it, but he went ahead and did it anyway, even though that's illegal, of course. Okay. So anyway, they go in here and talk about evidence of death or status, and it tells you what is considered death. Death occurs when an individual is determined dead under section. You got to go and meet those requirements, apparently. But it talks about the death certificate. So the one I really wanted to hit on is this one right here, D. It says, in the absence of prima facie, evidence of death under paragraph B or C of this subsection, the fact of death shall be established by clear and convincing evidence, including circumstantial evidence. When that word right there, circumstantial, that really caught my eye. The reason it caught my eye is because you've been seeing in the news recently, you might have seen, and I forgot the guy's name, but he was convicted of his wife's murder and her body was never found. Patrick Frazee was convicted of Kelsey Barris, I think that's her name, her murder, and her body wasn't recovered because he got rid of it. But yeah, so, and that pretty much all that's based on circumstantial evidence, right? Because you don't have evidence of a body, you don't have a murder weapon, anything like that. So, all right. That just caught my eye and I thought it was interesting. So I'm interested, how long do you all think that Barry's going to wait? Let me pull this up. I'll get a little. So how long do y'all think Barry's going to wait until he tries to get insurance money on Suzanne? I know he's probably thinking he wants to do it right now, but yeah. So, if he did do that, if he did try that, that may be a way they can establish motive for him killing her. So, I mean, I don't know how it's not motive already when he's making all these moves to sell all this stuff. So let's do 1E here. An individual whose death is not established under paragraphs A to D of this subsection or under section 15-10-106.5, sounds like a radio station, who is absent for a continuous period of 5 years. Here's the answer. During which he or she has not been heard from and whose absence is not satisfactorily explained after diligent search or inquiry is presumed to be dead. All right. So there's your how long you got to wait. 5 years. Unless her body's found. I had somebody contact me a few months back, and they made a pretty solid argument to me that Barry wants her body to be found eventually. He don't want it to be found anywhere near him or connected to him, but he wants it to be found. And I said, well, why do you say that? And because I wasn't even thinking about this. And they said, because if they do find it, then he can collect the insurance money. And I thought, man, that is a good point. Very, very good point. Okay. What else I got on here? 1D, 1E, probably be dead. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I think that may be it. There was some stuff at the end. Let me scroll down here. Oh, yeah, the remarriage part. It says, remarriage of absentee spouse. At any time after finding of death of an absentee in formal testacy proceeding under this code, the spouse of an absentee may remarry, and such subsequent marriage shall not constitute the offense of bigamy or any other criminal offense under the laws of this state, even though the absentee shall later be determined to be alive. So what they're saying is if he gets remarried, because let's say 5 years goes by, Barry gets remarried, he's not going to be a bigamist, according to this, if Suzanne comes walking back into town. And then it says, upon such subsequent marriage, the marriage between the absentee and his said spouse shall be deemed to have been dissolved as of the date of the absentee's death, as determined in accordance with section 15-10-107. All right, here's the insurance part. This is interesting stuff, even though I don't know what it really means, but even just reading through it and trying to figure it all out, it's pretty interesting. And what's so strange is like most states have their own laws like this. It's not universal usually. So it's really interesting state by state what you got. So why did I save this one? I don't know. I'm going to read 4 though. When any annuity or endowment contract, any policy of life or accident insurance, or the charter or bylaws of any mutual or fraternal insurance association hereafter executed or adopted contains a provision requiring a beneficiary to bring suit upon a claim of death within a stated period after the death of the insured, and the fact of the absence of the insured is relied upon by the beneficiary as evidence of the death, the action may be begun, notwithstanding such provision in the contract, policy, charter, or bylaws, at any time within the statutory period of limitation for actions on contracts in writing dating from the, I don't even know what this stuff means, date of death of the absentee as determined in a formal testacy proceeding under this code. If any of you can translate what I just said, I would appreciate it because I have no idea what that means. I was going to, my brother-in-law is in law school right now. What's up, Pierce? I know he's probably not even watching this. He's probably studying or something, or cooking ribs. But I was going to call him and see if he knew what this was all about, but, you know, I didn't. I might still. But anyway, what did we get from that? Pretty much Barry's got to wait 5 years before he can say she's dead unless they find her body. He can get remarried in 5 years if she's declared dead after that. I don't think he's wanting to get married, to be honest with you. You know, I think he's interested in other stuff. So, I don't know. Just never seemed to be one of his motives is chasing women. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. I'm going to move along off the Morphew stuff. If y'all want to bring some questions up when I'm done, feel free because I want to read them. But I'm going to get through a couple other things and then we will get to the question and answer part of it because I'm excited to hear from you guys. It's been a long time. All right. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yes. Okay. Man, my mind went blank and I was like, oh, I got a card somewhere talking about Delphi. Okay. There has been a lot of stuff come up in the Delphi case lately. Not in the news or whatever, but on different websites. Reddit's a big one, Facebook. There's not a whole lot of solid evidence to back any of this stuff up, but I said I would. Let me get this off of here. Still looking at them laws, still trying to figure them out. So anyway, to give you a rundown of what happened recently, and I mentioned this in another video, but in case you didn't see it or if I didn't explain it quite right, I got some screenshots to show you. But what happened was there was a group on Facebook, and it was dedicated to, I think it was called Hiding in Plain Sight or something. First of all, I tried to go to one of them groups. All I did was post one picture, and I got attacked in there. So whatever. I'm not going to talk about what it was, but those people are nuts. And I got invited in there, but they, whatever. I was like, I'm out of here. I ain't listening to this. But anyway, what happened in one of those groups, this person comes on there, and they have this picture of a young girl, you know, like a 20s year old girl, and they have a name Lee Kerr. And they're just trying to be funny, apparently, because they were leaking some information, and Lee Kerr sounds a lot like leaker. So anyway, what this person decided to do was they were going to give out this information, but the way they did it was they were answering questions. So I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have the questions that the people asked, but I do have her answers to a lot of stuff. And I mean, it'll make sense. I mean, it sounds stupid that I'm just got the answers, but that's all that I could find. So I'm going to go through a few of these, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Bridge Guy and what one of his what I think that is going on right now. So anyway, so let me start with this one. So it says this somebody asked if there was more on the video. First of all, let me back up. If any of you don't know what the Delphi case is, it's been going on for 4 years. 2 teenage girls were killed, brutally killed, February 13th, 2017. They found their bodies close to where they went missing the next day. There was a lot of this, everything was sealed, like the autopsy, all that stuff. So there's a lot of rumors going around, a lot of speculation. But anyway, somebody asked this leaker, I'm just going to say leaker because that's weird to say leaker, but asked this leaker person what was on the rest of there. All right, I backed up and I didn't tell the whole story. Let me start again. So before these girls were killed, one of them recorded on her phone a video of a guy and took some pictures of a guy walking on this bridge coming towards them. It's this real weird looking. Let me see if I got a picture of it real quick. I mean, it's real grainy and you can't really see. So the one on the right is the first sketch they came up with. The one on the left is the second one. And the one in the middle is like a mixture of both of them that somebody did that I thought was pretty interesting. Here's the guy. They call him Bridge Guy. So anyway, there's been a lot of suspects and everything. So let's go back to these. So there was also an audio recording, and the guy says, "Guys down the hill." You could find it anywhere if you go looking for it. So this right here, somebody said, was there any more on that video, that we heard? Because the audio came from the video. So this one says, suspect tells them they are trespassing and he can't let them go back across the bridge for safety reasons. They have to go down the hill. Tells them they are being arrested. The girls ask to be released and promise not to return. Nothing else is distinguishable and everything is extremely muffled. So what I heard was another thing she says, she didn't want, the police didn't want somebody to think it was a cop that was involved, a law enforcement officer. So they didn't release that part of the video. So makes sense. Somebody asked how they died. Liberty died from hemorrhaging due to deep lacerations to her neck. It is unknown if Abigail died due to blunt force trauma or hemorrhaging from laceration to her neck. To go along with that, I heard that both girls had, at their funerals, both of them had scarves around their neck. So, you can draw your own conclusion. So it says the original sex, that was a Freudian slip. The original sketch was based on incredible witnesses and the video of the suspect on the bridge. The second sketch is based on an individual on Snapchat. That's what SC is, Snapchat. I'm hip to that. Just kidding. That Liberty was speaking with based on a description by her friends that she had shown his picture to. It is unknown if the individual in the second sketch is the perpetrator or a catfish. And if you don't know what a catfish is, it's like when you send somebody else's picture pretending to be them and you're not, you string somebody along. I don't know why they call it catfishing, but I don't know what the question was, but it says unknown. But Liberty told several friends she was planning on visiting the bridge. Oh, I think what the question was she supposed to meet somebody there? And then she says unknown, but Liberty told several friends she was planning on visiting the bridge. It is suspected she told the individual on Snapchat as well. So here's two pictures that Libby German posted that day. The one of the bridge by itself. I believe this is before they started walking on it, and this is when they were going the other way. it was taken back towards this one. So, all right. So when she says signature here, there was a guy, Mr. Ives. I don't remember his first name, but he was a prosecutor in Chaffee County, and he said there were some signatures that this killer left, and they asked about those, and this is what she said. The only signature that could truly be distinguished was the placement of the bodies. The girls were placed in a sexual tableau toward each other. I will not go into further details out of respect to the families. You'll have to look that word up. I can't remember what it means, but it just had, I can't remember what it means. I looked it up, but I don't remember now. All right. Says, they were asking about polygraphs. Several were inconclusive, unfortunately. I'm sure you're aware that the main intention of polygraphs is to catch the individual in a known lie, which hopefully leads to confession. I will mention that one of the inconclusive tests was Tobe's, and Tobe is the sheriff, which coupled with the handcuffs is why he, I don't know what the rest of that one is. Oh, here it is. Why he has since been completely ruled out as a suspect with a proven alibi not based on individual testimony. I need a drink, folks. My throat is getting really sore. All right. Got a few more of these. I got to tell you, they're really interesting because if this person, let me back up a little bit. This person claims to have had access to or knowledge of this case in some way. People are speculating that they're either like they have a relative that works in law enforcement or in the county building or whatever. And that'll come in handy in a minute when I tell you something else that happened. The Snapchat conversation ceased in the days prior. It is believed all efforts to identify individual from Snapchat have been exhausted. The phone was believed to have been left in the vehicle by the perpetrator during the homicides. So they're saying that the guy left his phone in his car, which apparently might have been parked at this CPS building that was torn down since then, an old CPS building. All right. Says a minor. Okay. They asked why this person, they were trying to say that this person, there's a suspect and they've been watching this person for 4 years. And why they're suspecting him is because at the time he had an alibi. And now they're still suspecting him. And this is why it says a minor change in his story, inconclusive lie detector, how closely he followed the case. His cell phone was traced to the CPS building for several hours. I mean, just because he has an alibi, I mean, who gave you the alibi? Is there proof he was somewhere else? Doesn't sound like it. The primary suspect was known to visit the area. Some people think that they got killed somewhere else and moved over there, but it says the bodies were only moved in the immediate vicinity of the murder. And this person, this is the only question I got. Was this he part of the search on the 13th and the 14th, or just the 13th or just the 14th? And she said, I do not feel comfortable asking this or answering this question. My apologies. A small clump of hair was removed from each girl. All right. That might not seem like a big deal. That's a huge deal right there. Okay. That tells me that this person is collecting trophies. He wants to relive this. That tells me he could very well be a serial killer, first of all. It also tells me that he's all about power, and that might be one of the reasons that detective said that. We know this is all about power to you. That might be one of the clues from him taking their hair if this stuff's true, what she's saying. So anyway, there was one more thing I wanted to show you concerning this case, and I mentioned it somewhere along the lines. So this right here, this was one of the questions, and instead of answering under leaker, when Eric Kubik, I don't know who that is. Sorry, dude, I put your name out there, but you're just asking the question. No biggie. Did the killer escape via the cemetery or some other route? If you don't know where the cemetery is, hold on, I'll get back to this. There's I think I got a map. This only doesn't really tell you. Okay, that's a trail map. I thought I had a map of Delphi on here. Oh, there's that CPS building. This is where the top one's where it was. Bottom one's right there. It's not too far from where those girls went missing. So I don't think I have a Delphi map, but I'll tell you the cemetery is super close to where these girls were killed. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, let me go back to that. So this person's asking Lee Kerr a question. All of a sudden, this person, who's not Lee Kerr, the one that I scratched out, answers. Eric Kubik, I can't answer that. I can tell you that the best way to escape the scene would have been by getting in the water and walking either upstream or downstream. Dogs don't pick up scent in water. And then this JJ guy was like, why are you answering? Are you Lee Kerr? And then this dude disappeared. So what people are thinking is that he is Lee Kerr and he accidentally answered under his account. So the interesting thing about that is the person that is, I know who it is. Apparently his wife works in a county building. And what I was saying before is that might be a way he could get all this information. You know, it's a neighboring county, but it is this county. It's not Chaffee County, or not Chaffee. I mean, it's not the county that Delphi's in, but it is a county close to it, a neighboring one. So people are trying to figure out if this guy is doing this. There was also there's also a connection because the guy that answered as Lee Kerr on accident, he's a pastor. He's also a hunter. I mean, you remember that when I talked about the checks on the boxes, and I gave my profile? This guy fits it pretty good. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to throw his name out there until I get some more info, but if you want to go research, it wouldn't be too hard for you to find. I saw this was really interesting, and you can't see it all that great. I might be able to bring that up on a share screen. Let me see. I want you guys to be able to see this because it's really, really interesting. It's probably on. Yep. Oh man, it's opening up Photoshop. Well, that'll work, I guess. Sorry, guys. Taking forever. Here it is. All right. That's smaller than the other one. All right, let me zoom in on it on here. It's funny. All right, that might work. All right, there you go. Okay, so what somebody did was they went in here and they did frame by frame of this bridge guy, the video. Get off of there. All right. So what they did was, like I said, frame by frame, and starts here. And I thought it was really interesting because each frame looks totally different. Well, I mean, they look the same, but you can see differences in a lot of them. But if you go down to 27 and 28, what the heck is that? If you've been to this bridge, which I haven't been on it because I'm not dumb or crazy or brave as far as the bridge walking goes. Um, there's nothing that would have gotten away there besides another person, probably. So I'm wondering what is in that frame right there, 27 and 28. Also, if you look at the legs in 39, 38, 37. I don't know if that's a shadow or, gosh, look at 31. It's like he's got a baseball bat or something in there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Like some kind of weapon or something. Here's 31. Okay, right there. So 31. Look at that. That's crazy. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. But just keep your eyes on this Delphi thing because I'm thinking that, man, there's people coming out of the woodwork. And, you know, if that person that answered for Lee Kerr ends up being bridge guy, I think that one of the reasons that he would have done this, like I said, I think I said this on another video, but I think that they didn't make a big to do about it. They didn't have an anniversary thing on the 4th anniversary. They didn't have a press conference or anything. And I bet you he was expecting that. There's been a lot of killers out there. I can name a few right off the top of my head. BTK, you know, the mine, what's his name? Dennis Rader. He's done that. He wanted a lot of attention. He was writing to the cops. He was saying, you guys aren't mentioning this and you guys aren't mentioning that. And you've had the Zodiac killer that was writing all those things that one of his ciphers just barely got figured out this year. Like that happened in 68 and 69. You've got people like the son of Sam. He got caught because of wanting attention and stuff. Because he was like the Wicker Ripper or something, and he was like lived right around the corner from a street named Wicker. So they were like, "Oh, it's that guy." What a dummy! All right. So I did some phone calls. I don't have them ready, but I think you all like them. I may do a couple more, but I got a lot of behavior stuff to talk about, but I'm going to save that for another show because I want to get to you guys and talk to you. And I don't even know what you're talking about in here. I mean, it could be way more interesting than what I'm talking about. If he doesn't block you. Oh, yeah. You guys are talking about Gray. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Gray stuff. We actually talked to him when we went to Delphi. We had some inaccurate things in our videos, and he made sure we knew about it. And he's really good at what he does. He reminds me of a doctor. You know, some doctors are really good at what they do, but they got a really crappy bedside manner. Well, I'm not saying Craig Hughes has crappy bedside manner, but yeah, he's pretty brash. I'll tell you that. He probably would agree with me. So, yeah. Amen. Hi, Gil. Yeah, he's pretty moody. I'm not going to talk bad about people, though. I'm not really, because I mean, it's obvious. He would probably agree with me. He doesn't like people. I just wrote a funny comment. He doesn't like people being wrong, especially when he puts so much time into the case because he's got computer animations. He's got all kinds of stuff. And I'm not going to take nothing away from him. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he made these. Yeah, awesome. Gray Hughes, good job, buddy. I'm glad you told me that. I don't like the. I just found it on some random site, so it's good to know that he did that. So, sadly, a lot of pastors have done some bad stuff. Amen. They possibly chose that for access. Yep. Sadly, that's true. A lot of them do that. They work with kids, like either pastors, preachers, or priests, school teachers, stuff like that. It's really sad. No, that's not who I was talking about. There's somebody else. Different initials. You'll be able to find out. I don't think it's a Masonic cemetery. Tyson and I went there and we talked to Randy Gravitt there, and I recorded the whole thing. And this is so weird. And this stuff happens sometimes, and it could be just it happened, but I recorded this whole conversation, and it was really good. That Randy Gravitz was telling us why he thinks this was happening, and then when I went to watch the video, it said my card was corrupted, the memory card. But the weird thing is that was the only video that was corrupted on that whole card. Weird. So, yeah. Oh, so you guys can ask me stuff if you want to. I'm going to read through these. Yeah, for sure. That kind of stuff happens more than you think. It's really, really weird. If any of you watch Tyson and I's channel there, we used to have all kinds of weird technical things would happen with our mics and stuff. We'd hear weird noises in them. Yeah, it was really strange. And that's not even like the weirdest stuff that ever happened to us. Nope. Never heard back. I'm going to try that again, though. I knew somebody would come up with something when I said that thing. He had a baseball bat in his pants. I knew somebody would say something. I'm not going to pull it up, but I knew that was going to happen. I didn't see you get deleted, Firefly. I saw that. I saw the comment. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'll credit Gray Hughes for that, for sure. Like I said, he's done some great work. So I don't understand why law enforcement cannot bring the picture of the bridge guy into better focus. I'll explain. Being a photographer, I can tell you why. First of all, it's a video, and she was probably taking it from far away. She probably zoomed way in on her phone, and so you're only going to have a certain amount of pixelation or clarity. Then it starts getting pixelated to where you only have so many pixels. If you look, there are little squares that make up all this stuff. And if you really zoom in on a photo, like I do sometimes when I'm editing, all you see is little squares. You can't tell what they are or anything. They just have little colors. Some of them, once you get so close, they don't even have colors. So it's almost impossible when a picture is out of focus, blurry like that, to fix it. That's one of the worst things that can happen is a picture being out of focus. You can fix almost everything else in a photo, but if it's out of focus, it's almost impossible to fix that because there's not enough information there to fix. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. It's hard. You can even fix motion blur, like if somebody's moving. If you put it in Photoshop, it'll fix it a little bit. Not perfect, but it'll fix it. But yeah, that kind of stuff, that's almost impossible to fix. And that's too bad because that's a great piece of evidence. Could have been. Just saying. Thanks, Sonny. All right. Um. So the pastor that answered the question, I'll tell you, some people say he's too tall as far as like um, what they say bridge guy is. To me, he looks like one of the pictures, but and this is like really crazy because some people can hear things a certain way and some people can hear it totally different. I don't think the videos I saw of him sound like the bridge guy. So anyway, oh, sorry. Uh, no, like I was saying before, I don't think they can do facial recognition on that because of there's just a certain amount of information there, and it would be almost um, like you're making something up. You're creating something that's not even there if you're trying to do that. Excuse me. Uh, yeah. Yep. Says any cops with those initials or other suspects. One past Delphi suspect has the same initials. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be a pretty stupid mistake for him to make. But you know what? That's how the bridge, or not bridge guy, that's how BTK got caught. He asked the cops, can you trace something to, through an email or whatever? And they said, no, you can't trace it. So the dummy sent an email and they traced it back to him at a church that he was sending it from. Sicko. Yeah, I think the reason, Christine, that I think it's not clear is because what I said. If you ever go out and you try to film with your phone and then something's far away, so you try to zoom in on it by like moving your fingers and zooming in. First of all, watch how um, bad the resolution gets, but also it starts jumping around for some reason. So that's probably one of the reasons it's not like that because it was probably jumping around like that. Just go try it. You'll see what I'm talking about. You probably already know. Yeah. I don't know either, but I don't know which one you're talking about. One of them looks more like it to me, but um okay, you're asking how I heard his voice. Uh Gosh, this is going to be hard without giving away stuff. But I heard his voice because he puts out videos on a church Facebook page. So if you want to go find that out, you can send me an email and I'll tell you who it is. I mean, I won't tell you who it is, but I'll tell you how to get to this place. So send me an email. It's the 321report@gmail.com. So there you go. Just like what I said, you can send me an email and I'll direct you to a certain place. I just don't want to be throwing stuff out there. I'm not trying to ruin anybody's life or anything. So, you know. What Gonzo say? I didn't see him. There he is. Keep interviewing Delphi locals. We got a lot from Townsville. Heck yeah, man. I'm seriously going to go up there when it gets a little warmer. I'm not saying it's not warm enough right now, but I also have to wait for, be able to take some time off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a floppy. Yeah. You're talking about BTK. That's funny. You know what, Pam? I've been trying to find that out. I don't know how to figure that out. Um, I even I even tried searching where was Barry on and the date, to Barry Morphew on this date. So yeah. All right. Yeah. I did watch that. I mean, I can't remember. Right. I've watched so many videos. I'm not even going to lie. Everything mixes together. That's why I have all these notes, because if something catches my eye or my attention, I write it down so I'll remember. But I don't remember what was in that video, but I did go watch it because somebody sent me the link. Probably you, Judy. I bet it was. Yeah, yeah. I bet it was an email. Is it Weeva? Have you guys ever seen UHF? The Wheel of Fish? Are you ready, Weeva? Maybe. Do not give away stuff. I can be patient. Not at the moment, Gil. I'm not. That doesn't mean I still don't look that way. Lisa, I don't really know about that. There's been rumors, like I said, that there was an online relationship going on with one of the girls and somebody, but I have no idea if that's true or not. Erica, no, it's not. It's somebody different. It's not the same guy. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. That's I'm sure. I don't know. That's one interesting thing I never thought of right there. Um, Let me think of how old that was. 4 years ago. 13. They would have been around Macy's age. Weird. I do know that I don't know if the school from Delphi would play a school from where they were from, but those girls were into sports, and so were the Morphew girls. So that's a good point. I'm gonna have to look into that. If either one's Facebook goes back that far, you can narrow it down. Yeah, I went through there. I don't know. There's been a lot of crazy stuff going on with this case. There was one guy that came out. He was saying it was his dad, and he went around his dad's house taking pictures of stuff. I will tell you one thing, that his dad was wearing a coat in one picture that looked a lot like that coat. I mean, weird. Well, there you go. Um, I will tell you this. I think it's pretty interesting. Oh, oh, sweet. I wasn't going to say her name, but I really appreciated her writing that to me. Thanks for letting me know who that was. Tell her thank you for me. I already did, but you can tell her too. Thank you for that info. So another thing that was going around about that was well, I'm gonna hold on to that for a minute. I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna read these anyway. Oh no, there was no reason to be hard on her because she was doing something good. I mean, and I appreciate people clearing stuff up. I don't know your name though, so you can write your name if you want to. I don't know how to respond to you by name, so okay. So you guys got a lot of questions who these people are. If you just let me tell you this, If you want to find out who these initials are or whatever, there's two ways you could do it. You can go on Reddit and search in the stuff. If you don't want to do that, you can write me an email and I'll give you the lowdown. Okay? I just don't want to say it on air right now. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate it. Carla's one of the people that on Facebook that I see on there all the time, on the groups and stuff. She's a really good person. Really? That's interesting. Doesn't even live there. Sometimes a killer kills because the victim knows him. Yeah, he didn't seem too worried about getting filmed. Maybe it's because he knew what was going to happen. I don't know. Yeah, if you're talking about that guy that's saying it's his dad, yeah, he could definitely pass for BG for sure. You can hear his voice on the internet too. He's showing. I know I'm getting most of you confused, and I'm sorry about that. And maybe I'll be able to clear all this up. But there's three people that we've been talking about. Okay, there's one guy. This guy that she says the guy's dad does look like BG. That's the guy I was talking about whose son said that his dad was a killer. And also, his dad apparently got custody of his son. So, and apparently, this son looks like the younger sketch. But anyway, so that's one person I'm talking about. Then there's two pastors that I've been talking about. I talked about one on the last video. And this new one is the one that accidentally answered as Lee Kerr. So there's your three, okay? The one that I suspected a little bit, whatever, I don't know yet. That other pastor that answered as Lee Kerr, and then this random guy that said his dad looks like BG. So, or is BG. He's convinced he killed those girls. So I don't know. But the guy, the vicinity, any of them could have done it. Oh, sweet. I'd love to see him all. Hi, Tessie. I like that name, Tessie. Yeah, yeah, he does limp. I don't think it was confirmed to be a fanny pack. There was another thing they said it could have been, like that thing that was on Bridge Guys, what they're talking about, what Stephanie is talking about. I'm going to look and see if I could find a picture that somebody posted that they thought it might have been. Just bear with me for a second. I know I got it somewhere, but I'm not sure where, so just going to search for a second. I definitely got to clean up my desktop or something here. Tiffany always says that. She comes out to use the computer sometimes, and yeah, it's terrible. One more place I'm looking, then I'm giving up. Okay, here it is. Just give me a second. So there's this little satchel looking thing that some people say it might be. Well, where'd it go? There it is. Sorry, guys. Too much junk. All right, let me take this comment off here real quick. So I don't know what that is. It looks like something for, I don't know. It's weird looking. It looks like a purse or something, but it's not. Supposedly it's for fishermen or something. Hold on. So it says one theory. Oh, it's a holster made by the Amish. That's what it says. What? That's crazy. So anyway, Stephanie, no, it hasn't been confirmed as far as I know. And apparently it looks like an Amish holster. So that's what this person's saying. There's a lot of good info out there, people. If you just go look, it's really nuts what you'll see. Yeah, I didn't know he claimed to and his son, but I mean, I saw a picture of both of them, and they could easily fit into that. I don't know. I never heard that before. That's crazy. She would have been a lot older than them, though. 'Cause she's like 21, and they would have been, well, I guess it's not a lot older. It's 4 years ago. So it would have been like 18 and 17 right now. I mean, it could be. What? Oh, thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Thanks, Mama Mia. So yeah, they didn't move till 2018, I believe. You guys are really on this Barry thing, aren't you? So there, you can go in my playlist. I posted this one, but I did a comparison of Bridge Guy and Barry. Played one right after the other because I found in Tyson's video, I pulled out where Barry was saying down the hill. So you can go check it out. I'm not sure what you're asking. How do I pay? I'm not sure what that means. Like you pay me? You can right now. I am in the process of getting. Monetized on here. They're reviewing the channel, so I got past the threshold of how many watch hours. I had to get 4,000 watch hours, and y'all helped me do that, and I really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I didn't know about that he'd been talking about his dad before. Yeah, I think he looks older than 42, to be honest with you. Sorry. There was some other stuff that happened there, and I think this is pretty much the first time anything. I mean, I know this is the first time anything like this has happened. This is just, international news, pretty much. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think I get what you guys are asking. If you wanted to donate to anything, I got Patreon. The link is in the description, and I also have PayPal. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and ask you guys to give money. I might have certain things that I want to fundraise for in the future, like trips to some of these sites or something. But I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can donate if you want. I get once I start monetizing the channel, once they approve it, I'm gonna be able to get ad revenue, which isn't a whole lot, but anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can send money if you want, but I love when Tiffany comments on this stuff. Y'all would not even believe his desktop. He has a huge monitor, and the thumbnails are tiny. Yeah, yeah, it drives me nuts too when I'm looking for something. But you know what? I clean it up, and then like after I research for a show, it's like that so fast. So thank you. Yeah, I agree 100% with Gonzo here. When I was watching Tyson walk across it, he didn't walk like he usually walks. So yeah, Gonzo is probably doing backflips across it, but normal people, you know, hey, don't be encouraging her to do nothing. I don't want her getting rid of my stuff. She she already calls me a hoarder and tries to get rid of other stuff. So don't encourage her. Hey, I heard that. Um, so yeah, somebody's heard it, and I know I have. I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but I would believe it. You better believe he's watching anything that's got his name on it. I'll tell you that. And if you paid real close attention to comments on some of these, I would say some of them are definitely him. Oh, thanks. I hope you're talking to me. Thank you, Christine. I am losing my voice. I don't know what's going on, but I'll have to wrap it up pretty soon. But I sure do appreciate you guys. I want to keep answering questions. About 30 miles from Alexandria, Indiana. People go missing in central Indiana all the time. It might have something to do with the highway that goes through there. It goes all the way to Chicago, and then it comes back down to all the way down to actually like Louisiana and stuff. So, or in Florida, you can get to Florida from there too. So, yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of crime along that highway. So, oh, sorry to hear that, Teresa. Hope you get well soon. Hey, man, I want to go on an adventure with you, Gonzo. So if you ever want to come out this way, let me know. So there's a PayPal, and then there's a Patreon. Patreon's a little different. It's like they want you to sign up for like a monthly thing, so people donate like $5 a month or something. But then the PayPal, you can pay just whatever you want. But like I said, you don't have to pay anything. I I definitely think that he's killed before, but I mean, I don't. It just seems like that you don't start right there. Like when I had Kelsey, Libby's sister, on here, when I interviewed her, she didn't believe it was his first time because it's if you study killers, they escalate. They start with well, Ed Kemper started with his sister's dolls. Then he started killing animals, and then he started killing girls, and then he killed his mom. Actually, wait, back up. He killed his grandparents, and then Then he went to a mental institution. He talked his way out of it, and then he killed some girls, and then his mom, and the neighbor. crazy. I think it's Highway 65, but actually goes right through Bowling Green too. Um, I don't know if it changes when you get up to Indiana and go that way or not. I can't remember. I drove it, but I don't remember. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Rebel Girl 0013. I'm trying. Sometimes it wakes me up early in the morning, and I wake up at like 3 in the morning, and my mind won't shut down, and I'm thinking of all this stuff. So, absolutely scary out there sometimes. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here, guys, but I sure do appreciate y'all um, watching and listening and making all the research I do worthwhile just to see that you're interested in it. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you did. Also, stay tuned for a cold calls. I'm going to start doing those pretty much every week. I think it's a really first of all, it's a good way to release a little bit of all this tension we all have built up because these are stressful cases. So I can use it to do a little bit of comic relief sometimes. I mean, Tiffany says for you guys not to encourage me because I think I'm funnier than I really am. But anyway, it gives a little bit of comic relief. It just lets me relax. And then that also, if they answer, like last week, I called Shoshona and I messaged her, and then she didn't call back, but one of her friends got a hold of me. So it's working. I'm getting info. So it's not like I'm prank calling people or anything like that. I know some people kind of looked down on it and said that it was childish, but I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but I'm really trying to, get info. So anyway, I love that you guys are all here. I love that you guys come here and give me your opinions, and I appreciate you all a lot. And stay tuned. I'll have the cold calls video and also have a weekend report. So stay tuned for that. And then if you all have any information you want to send my way, or if you want to reach out to me about some of these initials, feel free. And I'll see you next time. Adios, amigos.